Hi Beauts. Today this is a little bit of a different video. Today it's more of a serious video, as I'm sure you can tell from the title. I'm going to be talking about my journey through anxiety. Now this is quite a hard topic to talk about, but I just think it's right to share it with you all. Before I do get started, I'd just like to let you know that this is a collaboration with a young girl who I met on Facebook. Her name is Sophie Pang. She also filmed a video about how to tell you've got anxiety and all the symptoms of it and just all the facts about it. So I'm going to leave all the links to her video down below. If you do follow my social media on Facebook, you will know that I have been raising money to buy Sophie a goodie box just full of makeup products and beauty products, and I've just posted that. And yeah, so I'll leave a link to her story down below and what she suffers from, her illnesses and all that, so you can go check her out. But yeah, let's get started. So, anxiety. I found out I had anxiety when I was around 12 years old. I didn't know anything about anxiety until I was in the school choir and I was about to perform, and I was just feeling really uneasy, and I just said to my teacher, and I was like, I can't do it. And she was like, why, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know, I'm just panicking. And she looked at me and she was like, Tatiana, you have anxiety, don't you? And I was like, what? No. And it just went through, and realised that actually I do have anxiety. And ever since then, it's kind of like my life changed. I feel like if I hadn't been told that I had anxiety, I never would have been an anxious person. I don't know. I don't know. So that's when I first found out I had anxiety. My first massive anxiety attack was obviously over guys. Obviously your little year 8 heartbreaks. And I remember having my first anxiety attack and not being able to breathe, feeling as if there was a massive weight on my chest. I felt so dizzy, like I was going to faint. It was insane, to be honest, but you know, things happen, right? So I had that was my year 8 experience thing, and then when we got to exams, year 10, year 11 and year 12, I started getting really severe anxiety. I couldn't focus, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't get out the house. And I'm saying I couldn't in the past tense, but to be honest, right now I still don't have the motivation to leave my house, to meet my friends, to do things that I've never done before. I still live in fear every single day about things that I've no control over. So when I got to year 12, was it year 12 or year 11? I don't remember. I just sneeze. Either in year 11 or year 12, when I started having exams, I wouldn't even be able to revise. I couldn't sleep and I couldn't eat, and I was just really always in a panicky mode, thinking something's gonna happen. So I decided to speak out for myself. I spoke to my tutor and I said to her, look, I can't do it, the pressure's getting too much. So she referred me to our school counsellor, where I had weekly sessions of just speaking and seeing how everything went. And every time before my session, I'd have to fill in a form that would be just a few questions, same questions every single week, just to test how my anxiety has been changing. And when I finished my sessions with her, so I had 6 weeks of her or something like that, when I finished my sessions with her, we found out that actually my anxiety would get worse during my periods. Anyways, exams were over and I did all of that, and then just to give you a little bit of an overview, I failed my A-levels, my AS exams, and I moved on to college, where I'm now doing a BTEC in science. I moved college mostly because I wanted a fresh start. I wanted to forget everything that had happened in the past and everything that happened in secondary school and in sixth form, because I was in sixth form secondary school, same school, and I just thought, you know what, I just want to forget everything. I want to go and I want to live and I want to be a new person. So obviously I left college, I left sixth form and I started college last September. And then my anxiety got worse. It started getting better after, like when I first started college, it started getting so much better. And then, I don't know what happened. I would have anxiety attacks every single day. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I wouldn't be able to go to work. I got to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep living with this anxiety of not being able to work, not being able to go to school, not being able to do anything because of my anxiety. So I sought out help, because there was one night which was so difficult. I stayed up all night trying to sleep with just this thought of anxiety taking over me, and it was what counsellors call the vicious circle. What happens is you'll have an anxiety attack and then you'll link your anxiety attack to something else, and then you'll think about that, which will then lead you to anxiety. Then you'll feel anxious because you have anxiety, and that was the whole cycle I was going through the whole night. I would call my cousin, I'd call my boyfriend, I'd say to them, I can't do it, I cannot live any longer. It got to a point where all I wanted to do was end my life right then and there. It's so hard to talk about it. I just wanted to end my life and I wanted to just stop. I just thought to myself, like, what's the point of living if I'm always going to be living this way? What is the point of living if I'm just going to be crying and finding it so hard to just sleep and to be able to rest and to find peace within myself? And then it was that night that I thought, I can't do this. My life is worth so much more than what I think. My life is worth so much more than sleepless nights and anxious thoughts. And so I went to the GP and I said to the GP, and I was like, my anxiety has taken over my life. I can't do this anymore. And he said, have you tried counselling? And I said to him, yeah, I've tried counselling in secondary school. Nothing helped. I then got told to refer myself to a counselling institute thingy called iCope. And iCope is something that you refer yourself to, and then they'll get in contact with you, and you'll go and you'll do like an assessment thing, see how bad you're in, like if it's anxiety, depression, anorexia, whatever it is. They'll help you deal with it. And I went, and I remember when I first went, it was the hardest thing, because talking about anxiety and the reasons behind your anxiety is so hard. I can't explain how hard it is, because you will think, and I did think, and I still do think, that the reason why I get anxiety is so stupid. Like, why do I get anxiety over something so small? I think it's stupid. But I spoke to her and she was so friendly, so nice, and she was just like, you know, it's quite normal feeling anxious about this, and the reasons why you feel anxious, I would feel anxious as well. And obviously that just made me feel so much more reassured that I wasn't going crazy. But always in the back of my mind, I'd always think, I have a mental health illness. I am mentally ill. I have anxiety. That is a mental illness. And that's the only thing my mind would ever think. And then after this assessment I left, and obviously I went to meet my boyfriend because he's my rock. He will make me feel the safest ever. He just makes me feel so good about myself, and he's the person I turn to the most. And I went to meet him and I told him, yeah, it went fine. They're referring me now to an actual counsellor. A few weeks later I received a phone call from the lady that I was seeing at the Centre, telling me that there was a place for me to be able to be seen at my GP, which is literally just down the road from me. So I decided to say, okay, let's do this. I went to my first appointment and I met my counsellor. She was so lovely. Obviously she just spoke to me and we just had a chat, and we just discussed what was going on. And then the session was around 30 minutes to 40 minutes long, and we just talk, nothing else. We would just talk, and I can't express how important talking is when you have anxiety. Talking is like oxygen to a human. If you have anxiety, talking will help you, I promise. I had never spoken about my anxiety as much until I started seeing my therapist. I would then tell my boyfriend while I was anxious, I would tell my cousins while I was anxious, and they helped me through so much, and I could never ever pay them back for how much they helped me. Anxiety was taking over, and then through my counselling we found that actually my anxiety began because of my childhood, because of bullying in primary school, because of events happening throughout when I was little to when I was a teenager, before my anxiety started. And what I take from that is to just tell everyone that if you or someone else is suffering from bullying, anxiety, anything like that, please, please, please go get help. You don't understand the good it will do you to just get a little bit of help. It will make you feel so much better. It's like lifting a big weight off of your shoulders. And when I found out about my childhood being a cause for my anxiety, I sat back and thought, wow, all this time when I thought that my anxiety was because I was just scared or nervous, no, my anxiety was a deeper problem. And it's crazy to think that some people suffer through anxiety silently. They don't tell anyone, they don't speak about it, and I don't understand how. How can you not speak about something that's taken over your life? Throughout my counselling, I had counselling for a few months, and every week I would just get better and better and better. I went from severe anxiety to mild anxiety in just a few weeks. My anxiety kept getting better, and the one thing I learned through having counselling was that I'm in control. You are in control of your own anxiety. You can control what you're going through. And I'm not saying that because I don't know, because I do. I controlled, and I do control my anxiety now. I can tell myself, I can sit myself down and tell myself, this is not forever. You can do it. And that's how I got through my anxiety. I would stop myself, I would sit down and I would say, this is not forever. This is temporary. This is just the now. I feel anxious now. This isn't forever. And if there's anything that I want you to take away from this video, is that anxiety is only a small part of your life. It does not determine who you are, and it does not determine what you're going to be. Do not ever, ever, ever let anxiety take over your life. Ever. I was there, and I know how it feels. I know how it feels to nearly want to just disappear, to just end your life, and to just stop feeling anxious. I know how it feels, and I know that it's not right. I thought about how many people I would hurt if I did just do that, and I thought, I can't do that. I once read somewhere saying that when you kill yourself, your depression doesn't stop. It just passes it on to someone else. And it's so true. Because you ending your life will just pass it on to someone else to want to end their life because they're so depressed that they lost you. Your life is so much more precious than you think. And I'm telling you this because I know how it feels to be at a point when you just don't want to live. I know. And I don't want anyone, or anyone that I know, or anyone who watches this video to think that it's okay to just leave, because it's not. It's really not. You can get better. And I want to help as many people as I can, as many people as needs. I want to help you. And if I can help you just by telling you that it's gonna be okay, I'll be happy. If you can stop watching this video and just think it's gonna be okay, that's all I want. No, I don't really know if there's any much more I can add to this. I just want to tell you all that anxiety is a part of everyone's life, for some more than others. But anxiety is not your life. It's a part of it, and you can make through it, okay? If anyone wants to speak, I am open on Facebook, I am open on Twitter, I'm open on Instagram, I'm open on Snapchat. Just come and speak to me. I will help you. I will try to help you, I promise. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And maybe I'll do another video like this, maybe I won't. But I just thought it was really important to get this out there. And please don't forget that this video is in collab with Sophie, and that she is also talking about anxiety awareness. And check out her Facebook where she talks about her story and how she got to where she is now. But yeah, thank you all for watching, guys, and please, please, please contact me if you need me. Sorry about the emotional video. I love you all so much, and I'm so happy for all your support so far. I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.